Hi, and welcome back to Blackthorne Bridge Club. This is a group of role players venturing into the world of Call of Cthulhu and a role-playing playthrough. Chapter 1, as stated before, is a bespoke story based on a one-shot playthrough broken up into 3 episodes, and this is episode 2. We pick up our adventure after the characters have got back from the Howard Carter exhibition and discovered the theft of some of Nancy's history notes. Go to sleep. And next couple of days roll on, not much happens.
So I'll be inquiring at work about any progress.
Look, there's not much more. They go down to the guy, apart from the guy who is apparently dressed in some sort of robes, walked up and it had a hammer in his hand, smashed this, when challenged, drew a gun, shot, took whatever was ever in there and left.
That's it. And what about the general, what's his name, Harold? The guys are still in town.
Howard Carter? Oh, well, I think he's probably still in town. But
been anything like in the gossip or whatever?
Yeah, in the news.
What's the goss?
Oh, has there been
in the
anything
paper?
in the news?
In the Bugle.
Oh, the Bugle's from Chicago.
Okay, what's
Or
one
whatever
in
the New York
New York?
flag is.
The New York Times. Is there anything there?
In fact, there is. And
What's
it's
the
really good
goss?
if I actually organise this so I can actually get to it in order. Goodness
Somebody's rifled through your stuff too.
Ah,
Oh, you can hand the whole shit over. So. We won't mind.
in the paper.
In the paper. Do you want to read it, Aunt Jess, this time?
Sure, lovely. I need my glasses. Artifacts stolen on Thursday 30th of August during Howard Carter's historic address to an elite crowd at the New York Natural History Museum. A brazen thief smashed a glass case and made off with a priceless artifact. The assembled crowd heard a scream from the security guard, the breaking of glass and the sound of the alarm ringing out. By the time they, including the mayor and the police chief, Francis Price, they left you out, Paul.
Well, I wasn't on duty.
The culprit had made off, leaving an injured security guard in his wake. Chief Price took control of the situation and instigated a lockdown, but too late. The thief had escaped the building.
Or did he?
After some time, the lecture continued and Mr. Carter was rushed off straight after the address. It was Howard Carter distraught. It was reported that the famed explorer was distraught with the theft from the exhibition last night. Although no formal announcement has been made, the Independent has been informed by sources close to the museum that the artifact stolen is none other than the fabled Papyrus of Annie. And that's A-N-I, not A-N-N-I-E.
Okay.
Nothing to do with the show, which forms part of the Book of the Dead. Carter was keen to work with other archaeologists to uncover additional content from the papyrus that may have been omitted from the actual book. Police investigations are continuing.
Is there much competition in the archaeological world?
Sounds more...
Oh, yes, most definitely. Everybody wants to discover something.
But I mean, like to the point of stealing things. You
Well,
wouldn't have a rival archaeologist or something, would it?
Indiana or something.
Could be. There could be a Mr. Jones. I don't know.
So he wants to work with other archaeologists. I wonder if I could be one of those.
Well, Howard Carter is something to aspire to.
Sounds a bit dangerous.
It is. It's come around and it's Sunday, 2nd of September. While relaxing after dinner, you start to hear some music. If you can call it that, the sound seems to be a cacophony of discordant notes, set to a rhythm over a subtle underlying repeating tune.
Where's it coming from, or where does it sound like it's coming from?
I don't
It
know,
sounds like it's coming from the corridor.
like native
Music of
drums.
these young people these days.
Is it native drums or anything like that?
It's not like just some 1920s jazz or something.
Have a look out.
Okay,
Have a look.
Yeah,
Have a
we'll
look.
have a look.
you
Yes.
look out the door,
Yeah.
and outside each door in the corridor, you see a gramophone, a wind-up version, with a record playing the sounds.
What the
At
hell?
each door,
Hmm.
I'm blocking my ears.
Okay, you're blocking your ears. Jess, what do you do?
She's deaf anyway.
I'm going back inside the apartment.
Okay. What are you doing, Paul?
Very unnatural.
Yeah, there's something weird.
Do they look real, or do I look like I'm imagining things?
Have you been drinking?
It's not today.
Not
yet.
Have you been drinking?
No, I'll go down and just take the
I'll go and,
off.
is there one in front of our door?
Yes, of course.
Oh, I'll inspect it, have a look at it.
Okay, you do take it off, and you look at the record itself. It's like his master's voice label,
Mm-hmm.
but the title of the playing is called The Master in the Mist. Please all make a power roll.
Me?
Yep,
What roll? Power.
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 50.
33,
Is
which is a good one.
I got 79 and I'm meant to be 50.
Ah, okay.
I got 49
35.
and I've got 70.
So you guys who passed,
Not me.
you feel a bit disoriented and a bit sort of woozy.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy,
I'm on the floor.
you feel somewhat lightheaded as you
Okay.
feel yourself fall to the ground and
Just a
lose
drunk.
consciousness.
Mm-hmm. Drinking again.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So how many of these gramophones is there?
They just appear to be outside each door.
So how many doors there?
How many apartments is there on the floor?
4.
Take the
So I'll
numbers
just-
off.
Yes, stop them. Has anyone else opened the door? I'm
No.
going to knock on 2A.
I'm not on too bad. Okay,
Is that
So-
Rita's one?
that's Barbara Gold. Is it? Oh, hello,
Barbara,
Paul.
how are you?
Oh, I'm okay. What was that noise?
You heard it too. I was just coming
Oh,
to
yes.
ask if you noticed the strange...
Oh, what's that? She looks down at
Yes, it's very odd. I don't understand.
the... Did you put it there?
No, I did not put it there. There's one in front of every door.
Oh, do you think it's a gift?
Maybe. I wouldn't... No, just let me handle it. I'll investigate.
Oh, you're very clever. Thank you
I
for that.
wouldn't touch it. I just wanted... I wasn't sure if you could hear it or...
Oh,
Do you feel okay?
I'm okay. A bit tired, I must admit.
Tired?
Yes, feel a bit
Maybe you
drowsy.
should have a little drink and I'll lie down.
Oh, that's such a good idea. Thank you very much, Paul.
I'll take care of this for you.
Oh,
You
thank
don't
you,
worry
thank you.
about it. You have a lovely night.
So she sort of closes the door.
Right, so she heard it too.
Hmm.
And affected by it.
Clearly.
What's
Well, I'll
wrong?
knock on the... I assume I know all the people.
Mm.
Just to make sure they're all okay.
Have they
So
just
I'll-
left
gonna-
on the
I'm
floor
gonna
in the
check.
doorway?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Thanks, guys.
Just want to make sure everyone's all right and not...
Yeah,
But
everyone's good.
I've
Yeah,
collapsed in the door.
They all heard it though. They all heard the
Yeah,
music.
they all heard the music.
Yeah, I want to examine this gramophone more closely. Is there anything weird about it? Hidden, odd, unusual,
What are unusual.
supernatural? I don't know.
Supernatural. Goodness.
What brand is the gramophone?
It doesn't seem to be branded. Just an old style wind up gramophone. You look at it and it just looks like an old style wind up
So,
gramophone.
nothing odd about it that I can...
No, not really.
There's a lot of flaws in this, but I want to go down a floor and see if there's any gramophones anywhere else.
Okay, so you're on floor 2.
So I'll just go down to floor 1.
Well, floor 1's the balloon lobby.
Oh, well, I'll go up to floor 3
Okay,
then.
go up to floor 3. You look out,
Just looked at it.
and there look to be people out in the hall picking up gramophones.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Don't touch those.
Why?
I don't know. Alright.
So you recognise Kenneth and Betty Edwards from 3A?
Yeah.
What's all this, Paul?
Well, I'm investigating, but that's police evidence now. I'll have to confiscate them all.
Really?
Yes, definitely.
Why?
Well,
They're clearly gifts.
no, I don't think they're gifts.
How do you know? Did you put them there?
Oh, I didn't put them there.
Then
You're
how
not
do
going
you know
to
they're
make me
not
question
gifts?
you back at the station house, are you?
For what? Opening my
Well,
door?
obstructing the law.
I'd have you know, I'm just not obstructing the law. I'm picking up something which obviously someone has left outside my door as a gift.
As I said, the New York Police Department's investigating this.
What? The provision of gifts.
Exactly.
So clearly you are very busy.
You have to pay
Do you know
GST
my
on this.
taxes pay for your salary?
Oh,
Seriously.
No donation to the police ball this year.
I really think you should just let me. And then if they're okay, I'll let you have it.
Fine, but I'll be taking this matter further.
Oh, you can talk
Slams
to
the
the
door
chief,
closed.
that's fine. I'll try and, I don't know how big they are, but
Yeah.
I'll grab them and
Okay. So you grab the...
bring them back down to the apartment or whatever. I
Alright,
guess.
so now you've got...
So how many floors is there?
There are 8 floors.
I'm not
8
doing
is a
that.
penthouse.
So if I got one more floor, they all got them too.
And they all started playing at the same time, which
I don't know if I should
There
get
was
some
like
fellow
30
detectives down
people.
and confiscate these things or not.
I can see it now. Chief,
Why don't you rush into
there's
the
been
next
an outbreak
building
of
and check
gramophones in
this,
my
yeah.
apartment.
Yeah, check the other buildings.
Very odd. I don't know, I guess if there's 8 floors worth, there's not much I can do about it.
So you've just confiscated the ones from the 2nd and the 3rd floors.
Mm-hmm.
That's it?
Well, we're not going to put 150 photos. I don't know. Is the apartment big enough to store them all?
Oh, look, I suppose you could put them in the lounge room.
Right, and then they can all play at once.
Yep. What else can we do? What can we do with them?
Throw them out the window.
I don't know. I must know someone who'll pawn them for me or something.
You could store them down in the basement.
Yeah, or I'll grab as many as I can and put them in the basement for now.
Okay. So the basement's just, well, obviously below the 1st floor.
Just explain to everyone that investigating suspicious circumstances, and then if they prove to be okay, we can.
So there's like
whoever
a,
wants
you
them
go
can
down the
come
stairs, there's a residence common room, there's a corridor with a laundry boiler room there as well.
Sounds good. I'll store them in the basement for now.
Alright. So the gramophones are in the basement.
So do we all feel alright now that the music's stopped?
You guys are alright.
Yeah.
Apart from me.
While he's doing all that, we'll... Henry,
Can you please?
can you help me get Nancy up onto the couch? I'll fetch her a glass of water.
More than happy to assist. You get her back inside the room.
Yep.
Get her a glass of water.
Yep. She's not woken up.
Smelling
Oh,
salts.
she's still...
Smelling salts.
Smelling salts.
Oh, smelling salts. You wave some smelling salts under her nose. It smells.
Yeah.
She's still out.
Mm. Am I breathing?
Mm.
Okay.
Has anyone got
I wasn't
any
gonna ask that,
medical
but-
skills? Has anyone got any medical kind of skills here?
Am I having any visions?
Oh, I got.
Or am I just blank? Like a void?
You're enjoying some Zen sleep.
What would you like to dream about?
I don't know, considering I've been dreaming other weird stuff, so
It'll be frogs.
frogs.
I guess I should call for a doctor or.
Yeah.
I don't know how things worked in the 20s. But
Is there a doctorate in the apartment block?
No.
do we have a doctor who would normally use?
You know where the hospital
The
is.
family doctor. I know the hospital is, but.
Yeah, but there probably wouldn't be manned the surgery at Sunday night.
Oh, it's Sunday
Mm.
night. Well, I guess we'll have to bring her to hospital. That's-
I've got no say in
It's
it.
got no say in it.
Yes, why am I looking at you, Nancy?
If you're not waking up, we'll have to bring it to hospital.
Okay. So what do you call a cab? What are you doing?
I can drive, can't I? Do I have a car?
Yeah, you have a car.
I want to just drive.
All right, you bundle her into the car, you take it to the hospital, and you sit in triage, as you do
Mm-hmm.
in a hospital, for a very long time.
Does she wake up or
A very long time.
a very long time?
Oh, no, she doesn't wake up. And eventually one of the nurses comes, they put her on a gurney and take her into emergency. And sort of move her on and eventually the doctor comes and says, looks like she's asleep.
What do you mean asleep?
She looks like she's asleep.
Is it
She's,
possible to be this deeply asleep?
I've not seen anything like it before, but appears physically well otherwise.
How do you suggest we wake her up?
I don't know, to be honest. We could give her a shot of adrenaline. But
Is there any
if-
risk in doing that?
Possibly.
Possibly, such as?
We don't know the cause of this, so therefore, without knowing the cause of why she's suddenly fallen into this fugue, it would be unusual to.
Is it possible this could be some kind of hypnosis or suggestion?
Look, it could be.
And if it was that, would adrenaline work?
Maybe not.
Not.
In fact, it could make it worse.
Okay.
But as her father, you do have a choice.
Well, no, I don't want to do anything risky if she's not actually hurt at the moment. How long's she been out for?
Well, by now she'd probably been out for a couple of
A
hours.
couple of hours. So, what do you suggest? I just bring her home and wait for it to wake up, or any ideas?
There's nothing we would do for her here apart from monitor her. We could keep her here if you like. Or you could take her home, put her to bed and check back with us in the morning and see whether she's okay. And if not, we'll send a doctor out to have a look.
I might do that. I prefer to have her at home.
Okay. So,
Obviously, you guys are busy.
thank you. Eventful Sunday night. You pile her back into the car and take her home and put her to bed.
I'll just keep an eye on her throughout the night.
Yeah,
Go
appears,
and check on
appears
her.
to be sleeping. Do
All
you
that
snore,
jazz.
Nancy? Do you think you snore?
She snores terribly.
Does she?
No.
Well, strangely, she's not snoring. So, Monday morning comes around. Nancy, you wake up. Oh, and you go, how'd I get in my bed?
Best sleep ever, though.
You feel a bit groggy.
Or do I?
Mm.
That's not good.
Do you remember anything of the last 24 hours?
I had a lot to drink.
No. Anything else?
Went looking for a scarf.
Bit after that.
After that,
Do you remember hearing music?
oh, horrible stuff. I put the hands over the ears, but
Do you remember anything after
no.
that?
No.
You don't remember your father stealing 8 gramophones?
Oh, did he?
8. Was it like 80s?
And she seems perfectly fine. No dramas whatsoever.
But she doesn't remember.
No.
You know you've been out for like a whole day, 24
No.
hours.
No. You're just messing with me, Dad.
No.
Anyway, you ponder the meaning of life and
Yeah.
sleep and comas. And time rolls on to Wednesday when you've got your dinner with Rita Swanstone. So
Nice.
evening comes around, you make your way to apartment 5B and are met at the door by Jane, Rita's live-in maid. Welcome, she says with a beaming smile. Please come in. And with that, you enter the apartment, which in structure is not too different to your own, apart from the decorations and the ornaments. Rita seems to have no compulsion to remind people of her previous stardom, with a large-scale posters of some of her famous films adorning the walls, framed in gold leaf ornate frames. Her obsession with Egyptology also seems to be strong here,
Of course.
with several statues of Egyptian gods, fake, and cartouches on display all
Not a
props
scroll
from the
case.
film.
Hanging around in the lounge room somewhere.
In
is
addition
it?
to yourselves, she's also invited other residents of the building, being Arthur Baker from apartment 4C, Calvin and Anne Dale from apartment 7B. Refreshments are being served by a waiter with a silver tray, while her maid Jane distributes canapes
How
to all her
disappointing.
guests. So you come in, oh please come in.
Oh,
Would you
thank
like something
thank
sweet?
you. Oh, yes, definitely.
So
No
Arthur Baker,
drinks for my daughter
Rita.
today.
it's only lemonade.
Oh, lemonade is
Lemonade is
alright.
good.
Nothing else.
Yes.
So Arthur comes up and he's always very interested in your studies.
Okay. How old is Arthur?
Arthur's old. He's
No.
your dad's age.
Yeah, okay. Just humour him. I'll just humour him. Can I be bothered today? Am I feeling out of sorts, or do I feel 100% normal?
No, you feel normal.
Okay. I'll still humour him.
Right, okay. Well, he talks to you. And
Yeah.
what areas are you specialising in?
At the moment, Egyptian frogs.
Egyptian frogs.
Mm.
Roll me a spot hidden.
Weird combination, but
Roll me a spot hidden.
Oh, spot hidden. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't listening. For 47.
Okay.
So, spot hidden. It's 75.
Well, it's not quite a good success, but you see a statue of Kek on one of the sidewalks.
Ooh.
With his resplendent frog head. Excuse me. I should read what I've written. And there's also a full-sized high priest's vestments on a mannequin in the corner of the dining room as well.
Okay, I'll slowly walk around and have a proper look at it.
It looks to be a
Find
movie
a
prop,
detail.
so you can kind of tell it's obviously
Yeah,
not real.
well,
So
I don't expect these people to have anything of real value.
yeah, you look at the statue of Kek though, and that's a really good fake if it is.
Is it? How big is the statue?
You know, maybe about a foot tall.
I'll pick
Can
it
I
up.
use my
That's good.
archaeology to have a look at that? and
You
see if
can
I
use
think
your
it's
archaeology. So give me a roll and let's see how
legit.
good your archaeology is.
So, right. So 0.
Zero.
8
8, and your archaeology
is
is?
41. 8 gives me, yeah.
Oh,
Excellent.
so Art just comes over and says, oh, come have a look at that.
How heavy is it?
It's
though?
solid.
Okay.
Aunt Jess, it is old.
Ooh.
It is ancient. It,
Gee.
in your mind, is the real deal. You've seen lots of things in your studies or your books. This is a real Egyptian
I can see
statue
it
of
in
Kek.
her eyes that she's really interested in this.
Might go talk to Rita if I can track her down.
Oh yes, she's flouncing around, ordering the cooks to do stuff with flamboyant, big sleeve dress on. Oh, yes, it is so lovely to have you here. Finally, I get to meet the very famous Jessica Fellows.
Likewise, meaning the very famous Rita
Oh,
Swanson.
you are so kind. But nothing like what you. All I had to do was sit and look pretty. But you have to research, have to write, have to sell. You sell a story in people's minds.
And I'm looking around your apartment and I'm thinking, wow, Rita must be really interested in ancient archaeology and
Oh yes, my
mythology
very
and-
famous movie, The Mummy's Curse.
Yes.
Surely you've seen that.
Oh,
you must
yes,
have
I have.
seen that.
Of course I've
Oh,
seen it. Everyone's seen it.
fantastic. Yes, I hope
Were
everyone's
you
seen
at
it.
the exhibition the other night?
No, I was not.
No, you weren't
Sadly, I
invited.
was poorly, Paul, and I couldn't attend.
Oh, such a shame.
It was a shame, but you know, maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe
Probably not a bad idea to have missed it,
the
actually.
glory of the Hollywood movie is maybe not matched by reality sometimes.
Yeah, quite possibly.
And I heard that there was some dastardly behaviour there, Paul.
Yes.
I hope that you've actually caught the perpetrator.
Well, we haven't had much luck yet, but That's a different department. It's not my department, so they're a bit slack.
So the police department isn't your department?
Yes, but that's not my case.
Right, okay, sorry.
You know what I mean?
Of course, yes. But I'm glad to see that you're okay. Were you there?
I was there actually, yes.
My goodness, can you tell me what happened? I read the paper reports.
Well,
you know, they never tell the truth.
I was pretty much spot on what was in the paper.
Really?
Yes, someone stole the scroll of Ani.
Goodness. What's
Shocking.
that?
Nancy can explain better.
It's the papyrus of the dead, isn't it? Yes. It's part of the missing part of the Egyptian Book of the Dead.
Do you know I have the Book of the Dead?
No. Can
Yes.
I have a look?
Is that a prop? Is that where you got all these different memorabilia? Are these
Yes.
memorabilia props, or
Yes,
did you
of
collect
course.
these
I
elsewhere?
would love to collect the real thing, but even for someone as famous as myself, they're well out of my price range.
I tell you, one from those pretentious
Yeah, it's
people,
you can't open
ASAP.
it, it's a prop book.
Ah.
It really is. It's not even a real book, it's just a prop.
Just a lump of whatever.
But it looks lovely, you must admit.
Yeah, it looks genuine.
What about this? What is it, Kelkut?
Kick.
Kek?
Oh, yes. The
Yeah.
ancient god. Yes.
Where'd you get this one?
Oh, it was
So
on one of
silly.
the... Oh, yes, it's a very, very good. I mean, our
Yeah.
prop people were very good before they had their budget cut. Anyway, it was lovely. It was, I think, from the Pyramid Tales.
Oh, okay.
Of course, you remember
Yes.
that one. I was starring in
for
that.
sure.
Oh, how could
for
we
sure.
forget?
I think I saw it about 5 times.
It was the most
Yes.
magnificent costume.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Fabulous.
fabulous.
Yes. So that was another prop.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course,
wow.
yes. But a very good one, you
Would
must
you
admit.
mind if I borrowed it?
Seems like your whole life is a prop.
Oh, we could organise that, but I do have a certain affection for my stuff, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I understand.
You can come round at any time and have a look,
Oh,
of
really?
course.
Okay.
Oh,
I would
like-
welcome you,
Oh,
you darling.
lovely.
How
Welcome
lucky
you
for
to
you.
come here.
Thank you.
For you, anything.
Oh, you're so
The niece
sweet.
of the fabulous Jessica
I know,
Fellows.
I'm so lucky.
Are you going to write too?
Yes, I am actually.
my God,
I've
these
got an
people
interest
pretend
in
to laugh at
Egyptian
us.
stories as well.
Really?
I know.
Very,
Where
very
do you
much
draw
so.
your inspiration from?
Sort
I
of
think
like
I need some
props
gin.
like you've got.
Right.
Like this kek one, just the weight of it would be perfect to sit on my desk. I would get the inspiration. I could possibly even dedicate my book to you.
Oh, my dear, then I'll get
And
my
that-
archivist onto it straight away.
Thank you.
He deals
thank
with
you.
all of my real collections as well.
Your reels.
The posters, of course.
Oh, the
which will one day be worth a lot of money.
Oh, they will be already.
So,
I hear
I'm sure they
people
will.
talk.
I will leave you something
Yes.
in my will.
Oh, thank you.
After some time, a small bell rings and you're ushered to the table.
I'll do it myself now.
Once seated, Jane the waitress brings out some French onion soup as an entree,
Oh,
followed by
lovely.
a side of roasted beef, a main with roasted vegetables, carrots, sweets, parsnips, pumpkin, potatoes, arranged all
Positive
around it,
French onion soup on the
and a
recipe.
generous jug of gravy. At this point, Rita stands up and says, "Welcome one and all to my humble abode. We are welcome especially guest to our fair city, Jessica Fellows, dilettante and author, amazing raconteur. Now, in celebration of our gathering and guests, I have a bottle of French champagne, legally purchased prior to the law changes, I must admit, our dear Paul. So please enjoy." And with that,
Please give me some champagne.
the waiter brings out some
Where is it
stylish
legals or
wide
not?
champagne glasses and offers all of the guests a drink.
Yes, please. Not you, young lady.
All of the guests.
No. You.
I'm in the will now, Dad.
After what's just happened to you, you shouldn't be
I'm
drinking.
in the will.
I thought the kids are starving in the Didn't they do what they were told in those days? Yeah.
Age 20. Still in the legal drinking age.
What is the legal
21.
Really?
Oh, darling, I'll give you some special lemonade.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
She's
Yeah.
20, 20
thank
and
you.
11 months anyway, so.
I'll have the special lemonade.
Excellent.
So just pause. Oh, it's bubbly. You must be careful.
Lemonade.
It's just a bigger in a lemonade glass rather than
It's back on the sideboard.
Is it?
Yes.
So what is this statue the real deal, is it? Or is it a prop?
I like it.
Jess says it was
You
real.
like it, I don't know.
And Rita said that she'd actually loan it out to me, put it on the desk so I can have some inspiration. So I'm looking forward to that.
She seemed genuinely interested in that. So
Yeah, of course, because she'd get more accolades. So.
of course, of course. So you were there and you talk with Calvin and his wife, and you talk with Arthur, who's always very interested in your work.
Of course.
And of course,
he
Rita
is.
wants to dominate the conversation with Aunt Jess's
Yes.
books. Jess, can you tell us what your next book will be about?
My next book, well, I'm actually thinking I might start doing something on Egyptian mummies.
Really?
Yes.
Oh goodness, have you got the plot worked out yet?
Well, it seems to be working itself out the last few days, but yes.
Oh goodness.
Taking a keen interest, and that's why I was so fascinated by some of your
Is
props.
it the
Oh,
mummy or the
God.
mummy return?
Oh, that was the second one, which I must admit everyone doesn't like the second one.
Yes,
Always.
The original wasn't the best.
But Mr. Laurent, surely you have some stories from your time in Paris.
I have some stories, yes, but nothing in comparison to what you would from the silver screen.
Oh, look, it is just artifice, Mr. Laurent. Just artifice. But surely the real people of Paris are very interesting. You must have come across some very interesting people in your time.
Many rich and famous people came through the hotels.
Oh, do tell.
Well, what I was actually going to ask before that, though, was the gramophones.
Oh, yes.
What did you think of that?
Strange.
What did you think of the music?
Strange. I must admit, I woke up Monday morning and I couldn't remember how I got into bed. It's very strange. But maybe I'm just a old retired actress with an overactive imagination.
So would they have had
Too much
a...
lemonade.
Maybe I had too much lemonade. Indeed, dear girl, indeed.
Would they have had sardines before? Would they have had
Would they have had sardines before? What was that called?
like a music expert or someone I could talk to, show them the record, see if they...
I'm sure I could contact some of my old colleagues, though, as you'd imagine, with my movies, they played the music at the screening, not during the actual recording themselves.
Would the police have access to anyone who would...
Oh,
The
probably.
police band.
Well, no, someone who knows about music and stuff. So
I'm sure you could try to
get
find
them
some.
to have a look at the LP and see if they can know anything about it, where it was...
Well,
How,
it's
what,
it's
where,
evidence
whatever.
of something.
Mhm.
It caused something.
I
Yeah.
don't see the interest in it.
But I'm not using it as an official thing.
I
But
think it's a waste of time, Dad.
well, I don't think it
the
is.
maid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Jane?
Jane. Yeah, the other night when the gramophones were there, did you put her to bed?
No, I also woke up Monday morning in my bed.
That's no one seems to remember much.
No, it was, though the mistress did have a big night, so, and sometimes she's very generous and offers us to partake as well, so.
And did you notice anything odd in the room? Were things shuffled around like someone had been in the place? Or, no?
No, I'm usually fairly fastidious, as is Rita, in terms of
Yes.
how she likes things, as you
I'm
can
sure if
imagine.
one of her posters was moved even 1 mil, she would know all about it.
She know was taking the statue anyway, I guess.
Or put the statue in its place?
The night goes on, and at one point in time, you see Calvin stretch and eye his wife, and he says, "I'm afraid that I have an early start in the morning. A banker's job is never done. Thank you so much for a lovely evening, Rita. One which we'll remember for some time, I suspect. A good night to our new friends. I hope you sleep well." And with that, they depart, and the
Good
party
night.
draws to a close. Like a good host, Rita sees everyone out with 2 kisses on their cheeks, and especially long hug for Aunt Jess.
Oh.
There were 3 presidents of the United States in the 1920s. Woodrow Wilson from 1930 to 1921 was the architect and founder of the League of Nations, the precursor to the current United Nations. 1921 to 1923 saw Warren Harding, a Republican, take on the presidency. He was followed in 1923 by Calvin Coolidge, also a Republican. After the sudden death of Warren Harding, he was elected in his own right again in 1924 and gained a reputation as a small government conservative, a man who said very little and had a dry sense of humour. As you drift off to sleep that night, you feel uneasy. A sense of dread grasps you, and an otherwise rhythmic breathing as you fall into a sleep is disturbed. Paul,
Sanity check.
you're walking down the sidewalk. A normal day on the beat.
Uh-oh.
You're up for promotion and think that you're a chance of making detective.
I know detective.
As you
already.
walk on, you are. As you walk on, you see your wife, Dina, arguing with a man in a suit. You can't quite see his face, but he seems familiar. The scene changes as Dina walks across the road. She doesn't appear to see a car, a convertible, hurtling towards her. You try to scream out, but the words won't form, your face frozen in a perpetual scream. Just as the car is about to hit her, time seems to slow down. She turns in your direction and screams, "Run for your life!" Then an unending fog seems to descend on the streets of the city. You find your voice and are awoken by the sounds of your own scream. Nancy, you're walking across hot sand. Your shoes, though functional, seem to have been shredded from prolonged use. You are parched, the hot sun beating down. Around you, men and women dressed in robes and rags run in the same direction as you, are heading screaming, looking back, whilst others just fall, sobbing into their glistening sands. It begins to feel cooler now, though this seems to heighten your fervour of escape. A shadow starts to appear across the dunes, and then you see what they are running from. Arising from whence you came, you see a mighty statue of Osiris tumble and break into pieces on the barren earth. Behind it, a massive figure of a woman can be with the head of a frog. A giant opens her mouth as this dark miasma spews forth, blotting out the sun and creating a world of swirling darkness and chaos. You are awoken by a scream.
My own. Or
Henri.
my father's.
You have a book in your hands. Though that would seem to trivialise the situation to just call it a book. Nay, it is a tome. It feels strange to touch, almost clammy, as if sweaty in your hands. Suddenly, a man wearing a black cowl bursts into the room. He is carrying a wicked-looking knife. Even at this distance, you can see the curved blade is inscribed with all manner of symbols and strange writing. The fearsome man approaches you warily. Seemingly from nowhere, a voice in your head suggests using the book to defeat him. Read the book, it says. Speak the words. Save yourself. You open the tome and immediately hundreds of shadowy figures burst forth and blot out what little light was present. You struggle to breathe, hearing only the cackling laugh of the robed man echoing in your ears. You gasp yourself and awake and scream.
Maybe it was my screen.
Cheers!
Don't open the book.
Alrighty, cheers.
Cheers. To be honest, you're a bit bored. Sure, you've just infiltrated a cult and have been accepted as a fully fledged member. But really, these people just seem to be your general run-of-the-mill nutcases. Sure, you could be home having a nice hot chocolate instead of being stuck in someone's basement playing dress-ups. But these are the things you do for a story background. A moaning sound brings you back to the present. You are standing on a smooth concrete floor in one of the cult members' basements. There is a pentacle inscribed on the floor, with 5 of you at each of its points. One person in the middle was chanting, but now is moaning and making strange guttural sounds. All of a sudden, the person's skin seems to explode in a mist of black smoke, and although still there, the person you knew was gone, replaced by this thing. It moans further and reaches towards one of the others. Chaos ensues, and everyone screams and runs for the door. Being prepared for any contingency, you draw out your concealed handgun and try to shoot the entity. The bullet passes straight through it and hits one of the other cult members on the other side, who falls with a bloody wound in their chest. The misty thing then turns its attention towards you, and you are engulfed in this choking black mist. The last thing you remember is hearing yourself shooting the gun until no more bullets remain, whilst being consumed alive by the beast. You wake up screaming. Everyone please roll me a sanity roll.
Sanity. Yeah, roll it.
2. Ooh. 26.
No.
59.
Okay, yeah, okay. Not okay.
No, I rolled 56 and I'm a 50.
Okay.
We're all 50. Yeah.
Take 2 points of sanity. So your
What do you
current
mean?
sanity,
Okay, so I put.
so you're down to 48.
Oh, I'm down to 48 now. Okay.
That was a
Lovely.
restful night's sleep, wasn't it?
I feel alright. So, with my dream,
Oh, we all hear each other screaming.
Oh, yeah.
can
Do we
I
all
recall
wake up at
this
the same
dream?
time?
Yeah,
Or was
you
it
can
gone?
recall the dream.
Okay. Was I running in it?
Oh, yeah.
And I was running and all the other people were running.
Yeah.
So at the end, when the person, well, the green frog woman, I haven't got a green frog woman.
No.
Man.
You got a
No,
frog man.
I've got a green frog man, but not the green frog woman.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The woman would have the snake. Yeah.
When we
No.
wake screaming, do
Is
we
it
actually
different?
hear others
Yes.
other than
Yeah,
these
but
guys
there's
waking and
eight.
screaming from other apartments?
And 4 frogs and 4
Hmm.
serpents.
Yeah, the men were serpents. The men were the frogs and the women were the serpents. And they were the partners.
How would we
That's the
test
way
that?
it was supposed to be.
Well,
I thought it was like you have your male
2D, 2A.
No, I'm saying from a
and
game
then there's a
perspective.
female of that.
Give me a spot hidden
There's a
roll.
listen
I
check.
don't know.
Sorry? A listen
There's
check. A listen check.
I
That's
don't know
all.
if anyone's got it. Like,
Listen.
Oh,
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got listen.
All right, so
but I got
Honore?
nothing there.
No.
I have
So,
mine.
okay, no, you didn't hear anyone apart from yourself. So.
Okay.
So
so if you
So-
don't have a skill in it,
I have,
It's the base
It's just
number in
the base.
brackets.
20.
it's like an
Well, that's 50 something. So
So, no, you're screaming, you just drowned everything else
No,
out.
I'll do it.
running.
Yeah, no, Jess, you're screaming. You're screaming a lot, and that screaming's you.
Yep.
So I have the green frog woman. So is that Keck's other side of the thing?
Could be.
you should know.
I'd like to investigate this further.
Okay. What are you actually looking up?
That whole 8 group deity and
Yeah,
their
right, Jess?
relationships to each other,
Did you have a dream too?
and
Or nightmare?
Did you have a dream?
what they
a
actually
nightmare
represent.
too?
did.
Like,
Terrible, terrible.
what does the
Terrible
green frog
nightmare
woman
too.
actually
Oh,
do
dear.
as compared to like Keck? Like Keck. what is it?
So we'll give that to you for free. The pairs represented the same thing.
Oh, they are the same.
The pairs represent the same thing.
So
So,
why do you have
Keck
a
and
male?
Kalket. Well, because that's just the way that the ancient deities work.
But I thought Kalket had the serpent.
Yes, she's represented by a serpent head, but they both represent chaos and blackness.
Kalket, blackness. So this green frog woman, that's not Kalket.
You know, well, you're the expert. You tell me.
Well, I'm investigating. You tell me.
Oh,
How
well,
much research do I have to do on
give me a history roll.
the whole frog thing? Oh, what am I, 75? 17.
17. Okay. So in some of the writings, as you're sort of reading through, they are used interchangeably. So it would be not unusual to actually see the cross representations of those deities.
Yeah.
Because these really do predate the mythology of Ra and everything else.
Yeah.
So going back to my dream, do I think it was
Pretty
the
well.
police chief?
Couldn't tell.
Couldn't tell. Was there a blue LaSalle convertible?
You did not see the car properly.
Didn't see it properly.
Mm.
It's not a very good dream.
It's
All
well.
the bad bits, and nothing good.
It was a convertible.
It was a convertible. It
It
is
was a
true.
convertible, but I couldn't tell.
Maybe you only dream in black and white.
Suppose colour wasn't invented yet.
So you're lucky it wasn't a silent movie.
Well, if I'd thought of that.
With a little
Probably
it's popping
would
up
have
and
been
go,
that
"Ah."
one, wouldn't it?
So you recover from your dreams. Well, most of you do. You do your research and you continue on with your holiday, Aunt Jess.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually you sort of come around to Thursday night and it's bridge night again.
Oh.
Hey, I love Rich Night.
Can I try and get out of it? I'm not feeling well.
Unfortunately, you need 4 people to
I
pre-bridge.
know you
Yeah.
do.
We'd love your company.
Oh.
And you don't get to see Aunt Jess.
Well, Auntie's only here once a year.
Yeah, okay, just for
Jeez.
Jess.
Just for Jess.
How many times can you be the dummy?
Well, it depends on,
Once
on your
you
bid.
read 4.
Depends how stupid you are.
Once again, time for the weekly bridge game with the 4 of you. You settle in after dinner around the cleared up dining table and are soon into the game. Nancy,
Yes. Who's saying?
you get a faint metallic smell wafting near you.
Sorry.
All of a sudden,
So, oh my God, come on.
then all of a sudden, as you look at your cards, you see a small red drop on one of the cards' faces.
It's blood.
You go to touch it and wipe it off. Another drop seems to fall on the card again. Then looking up, right above you, seems to be a patch of blood on the ceiling that's getting bigger and bigger and dropping on your table.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, give you a
Can
sanity
you
roll.
say this?
Sanity roll, please.
What's going on? Do I have to do it?
41.
0? So what's that?
Oh, you'll easily make it.
Unless you're on another
Oh,
0.
yeah. Oh.
No, that's all right. I'm 33.
Well, thank Andre for that, because you're okay.
Yeah, 33.
I'm fine.
Yeah, blood is dripping from your ceiling. Oh
What's
my god.
going
So
on?
can we see it, or is it just...
Yeah, everyone sees it and it's dripping onto your table. You can take 2 points. of sanity
Who's
damage.
in the apartment above us?
Well, the apartment above is John and Martha Williams.
What, even with 0?
Well, they were siblings. They're not married, but they live upstairs from you, apartment 3B.
I go up and out.
Well,
and
once
up.
I recover, yeah, I'll go up and...
Okay, you're
Bring my
do
pistol
it.
with
Yeah.
me.
Do it.
Bring my pistol with me this
Knock on
time.
their
Okay, you're bringing your pistol this time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you run up the stairs,
Knock on
you
the door.
knock on the door, and John Williams opens the door. Hello.
Is everything alright?
Yes, everything's fine.
Does it look suspicious?
I don't know, give me a spot hidden.
So what's that, 85? What's that?
60.
61?
61. You don't really see anything suspicious.
Is he married or whatever?
He lives with his sister.
Is
Martha?
his sister there?
Yeah, it seems to be in the background.
Oh, so I can
Did
see her.
you
Yes.
And she's
listen to the
moving or
gramophone?
whatever.
Sorry?
And she's moving or...
Well, you can't see at the moment because he's standing literally in the doorway.
Did you listen to the gramophone music the other day?
We heard some strange music and the gramophone was out there. I mean, Paul came up and confiscated them.
Oh, did you, Dad?
Well, I had to confiscate them, but I can have them back.
What's happened with that investigation, Paul?
Well, let's go inside and talk about it,
You can
Dad.
have the gramophone back in. It's in the basement if you really want it.
Let's go
Why is it in the
inside.
basement? I thought you said it was a police operation.
It is, but I only need one at the police station.
But, so the others aren't evidence?
No.
Let's go inside the room,
Right,
yes.
Dad.
Can
It's
I
just-
use my
And talk.
psychology to see if he's acting a bit odd?
Go.
Or
We've got to check the floor.
41. I've got
Can I
50.
talk to your sister?
He says,
Just quickly.
normal, yeah.
Sure, come in.
Come
You
in.
come in and she's sitting there in the lounge room having a cup of tea. We go,
So-
hello, Paul,
Ah.
hello, Nat.
Where,
Hello, Ray.
where in their apartment would be directly over where
Well,
we're
it's
sitting?
like a mirror of
Mirror.
yours, so
Yeah.
effectively the dining room.
So can I
There's
see
nothing there.
anything in
So
the
you look
dining
from the
room?
living room into the dining room. The dining table's there, and everything seems to be fine.
So everything looks to be in order.
Yes, everything looks completely in order.
I'll do spot hidden.
All right, do a spot hidden.
I'll do one too.
Ooh, 0-2 for a 75.
That is amazing. You can tell that their maid doesn't clean under the rug.
Anything else?
No,
Do they have my papers?
no, not that you can see. But goddamn, that maid is lazy.
At least you have to sweep it under the rug.
Well, it would appear that is in
No.
fact the case.
They should actually get Jane in from, is it Jane?
Rita's maid.
Yeah, Rita's maid, Jane. She wouldn't have it like this.
So it all looks above board. What would you say? Oh, well, sorry for the interruption.
That's okay. Is everything okay? You seem a bit flustered.
Oh, no, everything's okay. That's okay.
We're doing the regular bridge game, and some drops of water started to come from the ceilings. We're worried that something may have.
Oh, maybe one of the pipes.
Must
or
be an
something.
internal fitting in it.
Right. No, well, we haven't had any problems of late. In fact, it's quite unusual. We don't have any problems of late. Given Frank, the building supplier. But anyway, let's not go into that, shall we? No, all's good. Can I offer you a cup of tea or something? You wish to stay for a...
No, I think we're all right.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll
well...
go back.
So we must get back down to clean up the.
Of course. Good.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Obviously, very, very
You know how
practical.
plumbers
Mr.
are, you can't, leave them unattended.
Right, so you leave the Williams to themselves. You head back
Is
downstairs.
the blood still there when we get back?
No, it's all gone.
Nothing there. No blood on the cars. No blood in the ceiling. No blood in the tape. Nothing's there.
Nothing.
What are you talking about?
Blood.
Nothing looks like it's been disturbed since we've
No.
been gone.
Not at all.
Is this a new building as such, or has it been around for many, many years? I know it's got a lot of gargoyles out the front and a lot of things like that.
That's what I was going to ask right at the start. How does a detective
Yeah.
afford to live in this fancy building?
Oh, the original. Well, it's a really
Has
good
there
question.
been any deaths in this building?
Oh goodness.
So,
Let's do a bit of
Like
research
sounds
on
way
A
this.
too
little
fancy
bit of
for a
research
detective.
on the Blackthorne Apartments.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, their building works began in October 1917 with the architects, Mather and Associates, managing the design and construction of the Blackthorne Apartment Building in New York. And sorry, Google wants to start role-playing with us as well too in the background. I have no idea why she just chimed in. Construction was slated to take 12 months originally, but eventually ran late due to a series of incidents over that time. The building was officially opened on the 8th of February 1919, and the first of the residents moved in. In January 1918, the internal structure of the building collapsed during construction to unstable subsurface conditions. The accident was deemed an act of God, and no one was held to account for the loss of 2 lives. After the substrata was reinforced, the building commenced again in 1918.
Who died? The 2 lives.
so that's why.
And in which apartment areas, like ours? Oh, it's a big article. Building collapse, January 1980.
So that's why it's cheap.
The construction of the newly released Blackthorne Apartment Building in downtown New York has ceased due to a catastrophic failure of materials. A spokesman for the renowned architects Mather and Associates told The Independent that in the late hours of Saturday 26th of January, a structural fault occurred in the subsurface support structure for the building, causing the entire superstructure to collapse. Unfortunately, 2 workers were on site inspecting the works when the accident happened. Witnesses say there was a mighty crashing sound and the screams of the workmen could be heard before the metal collapsed on the hapless couple. A full investigation is pending completion of the initial police report. Then on the other part of the page, it's Prohibition Push. Prominent wives and mothers of politicians in New York rallied today under the temperance banner calling for a ban on all alcohol consumption and manufacturing in the state. Too many lives have been lost to the demon drink. Yeah.
The laughing wasn't in the article, by the way. That was ad-lib.
Oh, this is hilarious. This must be the comics section. Yelled Mrs. Penelope Wash, self-appointed leader of the New York Temperance Association for Women. It is not only the lives of the poor wretches affected by the evil that matter, but also their their long-suffering.
Or their lung suffering.
Yeah, this is hilarious, Dad. Did you investigate this?
Did I investigate
I don't
the
know.
building collapse?
Nah. What example are we setting for the younger generation? What
Example have I set?
What
Not a good one so
The
far.
protest was held on the steps of City Hall, although not all in attendance were pleased. Now, in March, about 3 months later, we have Blackthorne blame. The investigation into the collapse of the Blackthorne Apartment Building in downtown New York has concluded that no one person was to blame for the accident.
Gee.
The independent tribunal formulated by the Architects Association of the United States of America and chaired by Chief Justice Johnson found that the soil conditions had changed from the time of the initial survey. This, they concluded, was due to excessive rain in the intervening months prior to the commencement of construction. Mather and Associates, the original architects, were approached for comment but withheld any statement at this time. Compensation will be paid to the widows and families of the men tragically killed in the accident. This will be sourced from the Builders Provident Fund and various charities. There's 2 other little articles. One's called Wilson's League. President Woodrow Wilson has once again pledged to push ahead with his plan to bring all nations together under a banner for peace. His league will aim to resolve international issues at the negotiation table and avoid the spectre of war. A memory of all too vivid for those living overseas that had to endure a world of war only a few years ago. Oh no, Carter's folly. No. Renowned British archaeologist Howard Carter has once again planned to conduct an expedition to the mystical land of Egypt. Despite evidence to the contrary, Carter still believes that there may be undisturbed tombs in the sands of Egypt and plans to uncover them on the behalf of the British explorers. What year are we in again?
No, that's 20 years ago.
That's
Yeah,
5
so
years
he's-
ago, so he
he's
would have done that.
British.
Well, there you go. Bit of history on Carter. I reckon we should go and see him.
So, that wasn't the only thing you found when you researched the background
Really?
to the building. Apparently, there was another accident. When the structure was nearing completion and most of the work was being carried out on the internal fit-out, a fire broke out on the 6th floor, gutting floors 5 to 7. The fire was brought under control, but not before 4 contractors were killed by the flames and smoke inhalation. The original plans for the building were then changed. The original design was to have 4 apartments on the 8th floor, but with the delays it was decided to make the whole 8th floor a penthouse. So there's a little article there from 1918 saying about the Blackthorne Apartments
There
down
you
the
go.
bottom.
Jess, your turn.
Can't believe I live in this place after I know all this.
And who's in the penthouse? Do you know?
Blackthorne, do you want to read the other one?
Who is in the
Europe
penthouse?
Treaty Talks. US President, what is this? This is December, so 6 months on. US President Woodrow Wilson departed to Europe aboard the SS George Washington for the Paris Peace Conference. Paris Peace Conference, becoming the first American president to travel to any foreign country while holding office.
Ah.
Wilson hopes that his plans for his League of Nations will help Europe heal and prevent further wars.
This is after World War I.
It is also an important conference to determine reparations for German aggression during the years-long conflict. The conference is planned to be held in the French city of Versailles and will include all countries affected and involved with the armed conflict. French President Raymond Poincaré has indicated that France will seek the return of land during the war as ... Continues on.
So there was one other piece in the paper that you heard about the Blackthorne fire. There you go, Paul, you can read that one.
There's
There's a Blackthorne again. Can you
Oh
hear
yeah,
that? Hang on.
that's it.
A fire broke out on the 6th... Oh, is this what you read out?
No, it's
fire
yeah.
broke out on the 6th floor of the troubled Blackthorne Apartment Building in downtown New York last week. Readers would remember the tragedy of the collapse during the construction. This time, 4 contractors perished in the blaze.
And then we've got an election coming up.
And then United Kingdom election. The 1918 United Kingdom general election was held this weekend. The governing coalition under Prime Minister David Lloyd George won a massive landslide in favour of the coalition, comprising primarily the Conservatives and coalition Liberals, with massive losses for Liberals who were not endorsed.
Yeah, don't really care too much about that. No.
Alrighty, Monday, 2nd of June 1919. Blackthorne fire. This Saturday, the trouble-plagued Blackthorne Apartment Building was once again in the news. A terrible fire broke out on the 6th floor of the structure, consuming all walls and furnishings on the floor. Despite brave attempts of the New York Fire Department, no one from the floor could be saved, resulting in the loss of 6. Oh my God. The fire itself was brought under control with minimal damage to the exterior facade, nor the other floors of the structure. Fire Chief Chuck Young committed to a full investigation and claimed the early analysis indicated that some form of chemical may have been responsible for the internal fireball that consumed all in its path. Luckily, no one else was injured.
So we're saying that
So,
the year before,
yeah,
in construction,
Sounds like it's had a
the
fire
fire
every
had
year.
the 6th
so
floor
yeah, so
and
we
full
had some
construction.
people die, then we had the fire, and then we had
So,
another fire.
all much the same, but there are other articles. You don't have to read those ones. But
Something about crime and violence being on the rise. Blah, 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 blah.
so yes, so you asked the question beforehand. How can you afford it?
Now I know.
Now you know. Indeed, it has a very checkered history.
So it
Yeah,
hasn't
no,
been any
true
fire
cause
since
of
1919? Has that
No.
been...
No, you've
No,
been.
so that's
So
been
after
pretty good.
buildings, okay.
So after knocking on the doors of the Williams, John and Martha, you head back up to your apartment, maybe to finish your bridge game.
Yeah.
But as you muse on what sort of shared hallucination you must have had, everything goes dark.
Yeah, hang on. Can we just go back?
Of course you can.
The people that we were talking to, the brother and sister,
Yes,
what were their surnames?
Williams.
Are they the children of Robert and Helen Williams that actually died?
No, unrelated. But really good pickup.
Yeah, we got those on.
Everything goes black.
Everything goes
goes
black.
back. And where are we? In our own room?
Yeah, well, you're in Paul's apartment.
Mine too.
Well,
I
yes.
live there
Well, he
too.
pays for it.
Does he?
Fortunately,
He
some of the
does.
sixth
Oh.
floor-
Oh, you're a student. I don't think you're paying for it.
No.
We could all be paying for it. So.
So it just goes dark.
So do we all
Yes.
fall
Does
down
it
or...
feel
No, it's just
chilly?
like the lights have
Just
gone
the
out.
Oh, the lights are gone out.
Is it chilly?
No.
Is it chilly?
Do you have any candles? Paul?
I'm sure we have something.
You search around.
Let's start a fire.
Nothing suspicious about that in the building.
No. Oh, can I actually? I'm sure I've got a candle in my room.
Do you?
I imagine
I've
we
got a
would have
torch.
something.
Well, give me a luck roll.
I
Let's
have
see.
a torch.
God, I've even got candles now.
Yeah, I've got a torch
And
anyway.
everyone would have had them in those days.
36.
Yeah, you've got a torch. That's
Yeah, I've got my torch in my bag.
Well, there you go. Indeed, you pull it out. You go,
Yeah.
just for any occasion, you turn it
There
on.
you go. Yes.
And you're not surprised to see 3 other people in the apartment with you.
And
Everyone
now we
didn't-
go
So
looking
do
for
the lights often
candles.
go out? Is this like something?
No,
that's
they've never happened before. Give
Go
me a,
and test the switch.
Yeah, working
okay,
right.
flick, 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 flick. No.
Okay, let's go and look for some candles.
Give me
So,
a listen roll.
Listen.
I was going to ask if the lights are out in the hallway and whatever.
Yeah.
But
For
Ooh,
I'll listen.
33.
No, you don't hear this?
44 and yeah, I've only got.
I got
20%.
37 out of 20%.
And
33.
out of?
I've just got 20 there.
So no one heard nothing.
No one's got. No
I'm
one's
too
got
busy
listened.
going, look
Yeah.
at this.
You're all yelling. Your eyes slowly start to adjust to the dim light with the thing. It seems like the blackout has affected the building. though, when you look out onto the street lights are on and the other buildings are illuminated.
But that's just our building.
Yeah.
You have to go in the basement.
You start to hear some sounds
have to go up to the
permeating the building. They seem to come from the ventilation ducts. It sounds like a faint chanting. Both male and female voices can be heard.
I'm going to do an occult roll. Can I tell what they're chanting?
Ooh, let's give it a try. Go on, Jess.
No.
I can do
I
that, so
can't.
I'll try to.
All right.
What's that one? No, 75.
My ears aren't what they used
so
to
are we
be.
able to make out any language or anything with it, or I've got a cult too.
Yeah, just try it. Let's see what happens.
No.
Yeah,
I think I've got this natural world, but that doesn't sound like it would be relevant.
not really.
You'd have a cult after that, like down 3.
No, it's
My cult is like 0.05%.
Well, try it.
If I roll a 0,
No.
that's 30. 37.
No, nothing. No.
So
No.
it's coming through the vents.
Well, you can hear it through the building. Yes.
Oh.
Does it?
sure.
So the vents come up from the basement, I assume. Is that
I
how
reckon
it
they're in the
works?
basement with all the
Is that
gramophones.
where all the heating and everything would have been?
The
in
boiler
those
room's
days?
certainly in the basement, but it's you can't tell direction. It's just literally coming out of those vents. So it could be coming from other apartments. Could be coming from anywhere really.
Surely the beds would be separated somehow.
I'm going to go down to the basement and see if the gramophones are still. Does it sound like the gramophone music?
It sounds nothing like that.
Nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
It's more like chanting and stuff.
It is like chanting and stuff.
I think the basement is the place to go.
All right, so you walk out into the relative darkness of the corridor.
Got a torch.
Yeah, and you kind of hear another sound.
Mhm.
It's like a guttural sound, almost like a croaking.
It's a frog.
And then all of a sudden, frogs start falling on your head.
Just on mine?
All your heads.
All of us.
Yes.
I'm going to
Check
get
tomorrow.
one.
Sorry. I think a sanity check might be in order.
Oh, 0.
48.
2.
30,
25. Where am I looking?
39 out of 48.
Yeah,
No.
I'm fine.
Yeah, well, okay, so obviously this is pretty weird,
It is.
but, given everything else that's happened, you're dealing with
Does
it.
anybody
So
else
it's
come
just
out into the
frogs.
hallway?
Yeah, everyone's starting to come out now. And there's
They all look like they have frogs.
All the frogs are sort of jumping around.
Rain, frog.
And after a short while,
on my head.
Frank Rose, who's the building supervisor, turns up and says, "Look, I don't know what's happening here. I have no idea. They're just frogs. So can everyone
They're
please...
not just frogs.
They're frogs. They've come up through the vents or something. I don't know what it is.
Well, let's go down to the
Can
basement.
no, I've just come from the basement. There's nothing there apart from someone's laid some gramophones out. I have no idea why, but there's nothing happening there. Can you please go back into your apartments and I'll clean this up?"
I think we should maybe
I don't
make our
think
way
you're
to the
telling
eighth
me not
floor
to go to the basement.
or the
Oh,
6th floor.
Oh,
It seems where a lot of the disasters happen.
Hi, my name is Raph. I'm playing Paul Lancet. He's a New York Police Department detective. He's a bit rough and dishevelled looking, but not very good at shooting either, apparently.
So we bring episode 2 to a close. Our investigators have discovered a disturbing history of the Blackthorne Apartments and suffered a plague of frogs. We will pick up where we left off in our final episode, episode 3.